Welcome to the podcast about venture capital, where investors and founders alike can learn how VCs make decisions and reach conviction. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome to another special release of Investor Stories. On this installment, the experts discuss a startup that they did not invest in, why they passed, and if there was a key learning that now informs their approach. Here's the segment called Why I Passed. On today's special segment, we have the legend Tony Wilkins of Standing Oaks. Tony, can you tell us a story about a good or a bad pass? A story about a startup that you passed on?
Oh, how many of you want? I just didn't understand Simple Mills. I didn't understand Four Kites. And the both came and presented to Hyde Park Angels. We sat and listened to him. Tavala, David Robbie, I knew him before he started Maestro, which then became Tavala.
That's right.
Just didn't friggin' get it. So every time I see those ads on TV, I just go, okay, all right, enough. I see Simple Mills, all different kinds of products at Whole Foods, and Ship Bob and Four Kites, both logistic businesses here in Chicago. Didn't get it.
It's a tough miss. Tavala was actually, I think, our second investment as a firm.
Yeah.
But it was Maestro at the time.
It was Maestro at the time. Well,
nobody
congratulations.
knows that history. That's pretty good. On this special segment, we have Manan Mehta of Unshackled Ventures. Manan, can you tell us a story about a good or a bad pass? A story about a startup that you passed on?
Oh, it was a lot. Probably one of the biggest early reasons we've passed and then regret it was because we provided a ton of feedback, but did not follow up post feedback. So it's our fault. They went through our pre-seed pitch process. We gave them, a lot of feedback on how to build it and how to do it. And then we left them. We didn't follow up with them. We didn't stay in touch with them. We didn't show them that we were continually interested in learning how things were going. One of the companies just got announced a Series A from Data Collective. It's in the methane detection space around changing the cow's diet. And we did not follow up. And it moved relatively quickly with some of the elements of the feedback incorporated, but we stopped. I think that is unfortunately something that a lot of investors recognize they do. It becomes something they have to reckon with. But I do wish we had a better way of staying in touch with these founders as they were iterating, if they were worthy of our feedback in the first place, which I think a lot of teams are. And so how do we scale that? So there's dozens of those, and they happen every week because immigrants kind of kick ass and they keep on building. Yeah.
On today's special segment, we have Ruth Foxe Blader of Anthemis. Ruth, can you tell us a story about a good or a bad pass? A story about a startup that you passed on.
Okay, I'm not going to name names, but I would say one thing that really sticks in my craw is a startup that I passed on about 4 years ago. A very early stage company. I really liked the space. I really liked the founder. I loved the experience that they were bringing to the company and what the company was doing. And I thought they had a big market and I couldn't get a big enough stake. And so I felt like, we were kind of getting edged out of the round. And what the founder was offering was just like a tiny little bit of this round. And I knew it was a project that I would work super hard on. And I was like, well, we're not going to do it because kind of not worth our time. And, it doesn't fit with the portfolio model and blah, 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 blah. And they've gone on to have a bunch of success. But I think, looking back, I think that just being involved would have been worth it. And I regret the pass.
So how does that inform, investment strategy, right? Because there is portfolio construction. There is an approach, like when do you break the rules?
Well, I think that you kind of make new rules. So basically in the kind of updated portfolio model that my team has put together, we've allowed for a couple of opportunistic tickets. We've just said okay. And then there's going to be some stuff that we just want exposure to because we love the team, because we have a ton of conviction, because it's straight down the center of the fairway of our thesis. We get to it a tiny bit late, but, it's still worth being a part of the project. And so we just, figure out a way to add that to the model.
I love it. We arrived at a similar place ourselves. About 10% of our total investments are reserved for off thesis.
So let me ask you, which is worse for you? Having passed and, the company does well, having passed for whatever reason, or not having seen it at all, having missed it?
What's tougher? There's a couple that I didn't see at all that are in my backyard that keep me up at night. Why didn't we see those? And I know why we didn't see them, because we've been really busy building and doing a lot over the years. And hopefully we cover that.
And you can't see everything, right? Like that's the reality.
You can't see everything. The ones that we did see that we passed on, those are tough too. I don't know the answer. That's a really tough one. You put me on the spot. Yeah, I don't know. If I had to choose, it's probably the ones that we saw and we passed on. But most of those we have, I feel like we have really good reasons we passed. So, if you got a really good reason to pass,
right?
Makes sense.
That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.